Waheguru, 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 Waheguru.
Suhi mahalla pehla, Panda hacha soe, Jo tis bhav si.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ Fateh. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj is blessing us with this hukamnama today. In Rag Suhi, they're saying Panda hacha soe jyotis bhavasi. So Panda hacha means changa, pavitr. Oh Panda changa hai, jyotis bhavasi, jeda tanu paunda hai. What that means is that vessel, that Panda is pure, which pleases you. So for me, this is a huge thing. Why? Because we create our own charts and we say, if I do X, Y, and Z, the Guru will be happy, right? If I do X, Y, and Z, the Guru will be happy. I'm not condemning Maryada. Maryada is very important. And that is the ABC steps. We have to engage in Maryada to finally become strong enough. But there's a quote I heard, learn the rules like a teacher and break them like an artist. Right? So what happens is that when a Gurmukh reaches a very high state of becoming a Gurmukh, becoming a sadhu, you will see that they don't engage in the same maryada that a normal starting up person does. And the reason is because they have grown into it so much, it's become their being, they passed it to another state. What state is that? That state is this: Maharaj, I want to do whatever pleases you. I don't know anything else. Jo tod bhav hai, sai palikar. Jo tanu paunda. Paunda means that whatever pleases you, whatever makes you happy, that's what I want to do. And that is the last stage of love. The first stage of love is do what makes me happy. We tell our partners, I want to go to Disneyland because it makes me happy, so take me there. I want to eat this tonight because it makes me happy, so let's do that. When the last stage of love comes, it's that I want to make you happy. What can I do? I will sacrifice everything I know and love to make you happy. I will sacrifice my predetermined notations of life to make you happy. So this is the ardas that we can do. Maharaj, I want to be that Panda. I want to be that vessel that makes you happy. Why? Because within that vessel can become Amrit. Amrit means that nectar which lets you taste Gurbani. When we're sitting here, some of you might be tasting Gurbani. Some of you might have tears coming down your eyes. Some of us might just be sitting here and not be feeling that connection. And that's okay. That means we have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. And in that stage of work, the first step is, Maharaj, to surrender, samarpana. Sache Pasha, I want to be that Panda that pleases you. Hanji.
Panda atmalein tota hacha na hoye si.
Maharaj says, they question us. The Sikha, you want to please me, but your vessel is very dirty. Maleen. It's very dirty. Hacha na hoye si, tota hacha na hoye si. Even if you wash this vessel, it cannot become pure. Guruji is breaking our ahankar. We were reading Jab Sahib, and the Pankti came up in Rual Chand. Garab Ganjana, Dusht Panjana, Muktadaye Kam. I'm just going to go off topic a little bit. Rual Chand is a different type of meter compared to every other meters in Jab Sahib. So the Chand means a meter system. Pajang Priyat Chand is a meter. Chachari Chand is a meter. That's why the poet then has to adhere to the meter's rules. The syllables have to line up, the beats have to light up to make that chand complete. Same thing happens with Gurbani as well. The chands aren't labeled in Gurdwara Saaheb Jee, but they are still there in some places. In Rual Chand, you can see the flow is different than everything else. For example, if you're reading Madhapar Chand, Mad means middle, Par means to put par on, put weight on. What that means is put weight on the middle word. Gungan udar, mehma apar, asan apang, upma anang. It creates the rhythm, creates the job. In the same way, we're reading Artiyata last time, we're reading Savaiya. Savaiya has a job as well. Paenga he jab te tumre tab te ko hua khatare nahi aanyo. Ram Rahim Puran Quran Anek Kahe Mat Ek Na Manyo. The Vishrams are what creates the rhythm. Vishram is the pauses. Those pauses are created with the meter system. So in this pankti, Garab Ganjana, Doshta Panjan. Garab means hankar. Ganjan means to destroy. Maharaj, you are a destroyer of hankar. Have you ever seen Jujutsu is called, right? Jujutsu wrestlers fight? I've spoken to some Jujutsu wrestlers and they told me the same thing, and it was astonishing because I met Jujutsu wrestlers from the West Coast and the East Coast and they told me the same thing. And what they told me is when your opponent is stronger than you and they bring you down and they're holding you down, you finally tap out. That moment you bow down to that person. You lose your hankar to that person. You lose your ego to that person that you beat me. And they say it's such a purifying feeling. It's such a enlightening feeling. It takes you, it's uplifting feeling, they say. And I thought about that. Usually when our hankar breaks, we become very sad. We become very cry. Everything in life is designed to break your hankar. That's how I look at it. Every situation of dukh that comes to your life is to break your hankar. Once that hankar is broken, once that wall between you and the Creator is broken, then you can see the Creator straight on. The difference between us and a Brahm Gyani is that they have Gyan about Brahm. They have Gyan about Brahm, knowledge about the Brahm. Why? Brahm means God. Because they can see the Creator. We see Sansar. We see each other. We see black and we see white. Is this right? Is this wrong? Can I eat this? Can I not eat this? That's why I was talking about the next stage of Maryada, is what Maharaj is talking about. Maryada is black and white. Yes or no? We're stuck in duality. Two. Janam, Maran, Dukh, Sukh, coming, going. There's always two. Brahm Gyanis are stuck in Brahm. They see nothing besides Brahm. Jyo supna har pekhna, aise jag ko jaan, inme kach sacho nahi, nanak bin Bhagwan. Bin Bhagwan to bina aur kuch cheez sachi nahi. Without the Creator, Parmeshwar Waheguru Ji, nothing else is true. That means everything you see here is just the Creator. That's all that exists. Everything else is duality. We see duality. We are in the sansar. We are sansari people. Bhai Gurdas Ji has a pankti that says, Sansa eho sansar hai. This sansar is sansa. Sansa means doubts, duality. Those that you know Punjabi, if you take the rara away from sansar, what does it become? Sansa. This sansar that you see around us, this fikr, what's going to happen tomorrow? Who will marry me? Who will do this to me? Who will feed me? What's my next job, career choice? All these things are sanse. That panda is pure that turns off their car, takes out the jabbi and gives it to the Guru. So Maharaj says, Panda Atmalin, Sikha, your vessel is very dirty. How are you going to wash it? It can't be washed. Guru says, breaking the hankar. Hanji.
Guru Dware hoye soji paisi.
Then the Sikh does it, Das Maharaj, if it can't be washed, then you teach me. Where can I learn to wash my panda? Where can I learn to take away this mad? Maharaj says, Gurdwara. By coming to the Gurdwara. Gurdwara, Dwar means door. The Guru's door. By coming to the Guru's door, we're taught how to participate in a spiritual lifestyle. We're taught that Sikha, you should get up in the morning. You should chant the name of the Creator. You should do this and that. We're taught all these things. We're given soji. We're given this understanding, this wisdom. Hanji.
Eet dware toye hacha hoye si.
If someone comes to the Guru's Dwar and learns the path of spirituality, then their panda will be washed and cleaned. Hanji.
Male hache ka vichar aap vartaye si.
Guruji gives the vichar, that word we started off the conversation with, contemplation. To contemplate, you also need a base. You need to know what's right and what's wrong. You need to have vivek buddhi, an intellect that lets you see from 2 to 1. Bib ek. Bib means two, ek means one. But big is a compound word which means 2 to 1. When someone has an intellect going from 2 to 1, that means that they can see now that what I'm seeing is duality, but within there is singularity. Within the duality, Paramatma lives. So, Maharaj says that coming to this Davad, one is given the Vivek Buddhi, where they can see the Creator in everywhere. Hanji.
Mat ko jane jaye agge paaye si.
Maharaj says this is the time to make this happen. Don't think I'll do it tomorrow. Don't think main kal nu kar lenga, agge jaake kar lenga kitte hor jaake. I'm going to do it today. Maharaj says if you have the chance to say Waheguru, let's say it now. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Now is the chance. Don't rely on tomorrow. Maharaj says, Hum aadmi haan ekdami. Maharaj says, what type of people are we? We are a people of one breath. All we have to our name is this breath. If this breath disappears, we are no longer Jesspreet Singh. We are no longer an engineer. We're no longer a doctor. We're no longer anything. All those labels get left behind. We're not people of days, of years, of time. We're people of breath. If this breath leaves our body and it does not come back, then what will we do? Dam means breath. Hum aadmiya ik dami. Molat malat na jana. We do not know the time when our last breath will come and will not leave. So let's take action today. Hanji.
Jehe karm kamaye teha hoye si.
This is Shikha. Whatever type of karma you do, oi vartara hoega. What that means is that there's two ways of looking at this. There could be many ways of looking at it. But one way that comes to my mind is that the vartara you see around you, the jagat you see around you, the way you perceive the world is due to your own actions. If you implement compassion into the world, if you implement daya, taram, santok into the world, that's what's going to come back to you. Parka bura na rakho jeet, tumko dukh nahi pai meet. Speaking about mental health, Maharaj says that when we think bad upon someone else, parka bura. Yo, did you see that girl's suit today? Man, she thinks she's all that. Oh, you saw that guy? Bro, come on, man. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. We're always like looking at someone else and just judging, complaining. And then those people are doing the same thing to us. And then we say, man, I can't control my mind. I'm so dukhi. I'm such in pain. Maharaj says, if you want the path of relieving your pains and never having pains again, then parka bura na rakho cheet. In your chit, in your mind, don't harvest negative thoughts to someone else. Tumko dukh nahi pai meet. Oh my brother, oh my sister, you will never have pain in your life again. So jidda hi aapa karam karde hain, udda hi vartara ban janda. What type of karmas we do, that's the type of world we are creating. Hanji.
Amrit har ka nao aap vartaye si.
Amrit har ka nao. Guru Sahib's Shabad, Guru's Upadesh, the Guru's teachings, Naam is Amrit. And Maharaj then gives it to us themselves. With their own hands, they bless us with Amrit. Just like Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj, with their own hands, gave the Panch Pyari Amrit. In the same way, Guru Saaheb Jee gives us Amrit into that bata, into us, Hanji.
Chalya pat seon janam svar vaja vaisi.
That person who receives Amrit, they leave this world with perfection. They leave this world completing their mission of life. And Vaja Vaisi, Maharaj said at that time, there'll be Vaje, there'll be Shane, People will be singing your praises of you coming to Sachkhand, coming back home. Hanji.
ਮਾਨਸ ਕਿਆ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਤੇਹੋ ਲੋਕ ਸੁਣਾਏ ਸੀ
But Jare, we think that not only will your fame and your glory will be out throughout this whole world, it'll be throughout the whole universe. Jin Nanak Satgur Pujya, Din Har Puj Karava. Those that worship Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Waheguru Ji makes them get respected throughout the whole world. Hanji.
ਨਾਨਕ ਆਪ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਸਭ ਗੁਣਦਾਰ ਸੀ
That person themselves goes in a state of Nihal, of Jardikala, and they also save their whole family lineage as well. So Sangat Ji, that was the vichar for today's Hukanama. We're going to read the last two panktiyan and then we will say Fateh. Hanji.
ਮਾਨਸ ਕਿਆ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਤੇਹੋ ਲੋਕ ਸੁਣਾਏ ਸੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਪ ਨਿਹਾਲ
Sab Gurdwara Si, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Creating a space for yourself for mental wellness is so important. Creating time where you can recharge your own batteries, where you can feel whole, where you can feel uplifted, because if you're well, then you can serve others. The most important thing is to give yourself some time. It's very easy to burn out in today's society with so many different things that we need to juggle. And it's very easy for us to place the interest of others before ourselves, especially if we're a parent and we have so many things and we realize that you can only run on that fuel for so long before you start to feel that burnout. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, how do I recharge my own batteries? Not for a selfish reason, because in order to continue to serve, I need to be well. So that creating a space for yourself for mental wellness is so important. Creating time where you can recharge your own batteries, where you can feel whole, where you can feel uplifted, because if you're well, then you can serve others. Then you can be a better parent. And I know everybody can relate to this. If you're stressed, you take it out on your family. How many times have they just walked into the room and they've just asked you for something, but because you're already in an agitated space, you have a go at them. You shout at them. Not because they've done something wrong, but in that moment, you're already just burning up. Look at this beautiful verse from Gurbani that says, Jagat jalanda rakh le. The whole world is burning. Nanak dukhiya sab sansar. Everybody is suffering. So how do we create space for ourselves? And that is something that you have to now look out for yourself and say, what do I need? For me, I can only answer this question for myself. I find the morning when my kids aren't awake is my time. That is the time when I give myself that meditative space. And believe me, I've gone for a very long time where I haven't done it, where I say, oh, I don't need to do it. And I get up and I just go, go, go. I'm sure you can all relate that when you wake up in the morning, what are the things that start flowing through your mind? You start checking your social media, you pick up your phone straight away, or you start checking your work emails, or you start thinking, I got to drop my kids to school and I got to make the dinner and then my boss needs me to send that email, and your mind starts doing this all of a sudden. So what you're actually doing is you're releasing these stress chemicals all throughout your body straight away, first thing in the morning. You know, think about it. What time does your stress start? And I bet you it starts the moment that you open your eyes. And that's not a healthy place to be. How are you going to serve the world? How are you going to help your family? How are you going to be the most productive at work? How are you going to concentrate on your studies in school? Give yourself that time. And for those who say that I don't have time to meditate, I've already got a million things to do, I always say there are 2 times in the day that you have to meditate. before you get out of bed in the morning and when you get back into bed at the end of the day. Even if you can do 5 minutes when you wake up, just 5 minutes sent to yourself, and do anything that works for you. Nobody's here to judge you on, oh, you must do this and you must do that. If you can just slow your breathing down, do that. If you can calm yourself down with certain words, mantras, certain shabads. I like, if I'm going to pick up my phone in the morning anyway, one of the techniques I have is I'm going to put some kirtan on in the morning, because otherwise, straight away, I'll go to my social media apps and I'll start looking at, well, I posted something yesterday. How many people have liked it? How many people have commented? All of those kinds of things. We're so addicted to these things. So if you're going to pick up your phone anyway in the morning, use that. Use that to your advantage and start creating a habit with the meditative apps and the Kirtan and the Gurbani. We're so lucky today. You don't even have to get out of bed to listen to Kirtan. You can just get into that mindset straight away. But once you start creating the right habits, you will see that it actually carries you through for the rest of the day. Have that time in the morning. Everybody's got 5 minutes. Yeah? Have that time in the morning where you're giving yourself, and at the end of the day, notice your habits at the end of the day as well. Because whatever you think about, whatever you go to bed thinking about, you wake up in the morning. And I'm sure you guys have seen, if you have a song going on in your head at the end of the day, you wake up in the morning, that song is still going. Well, why don't you use Guru's words? Why don't you use the Guru songs? Keep that right sort of frame of mind. And if you're stressed about work at night, you'll be stressed about work. You probably won't sleep that well, let alone having a good night's sleep and waking up with that thought. You'll actually be waking up multiple times in the night. So these are the ways that you start to reflect on yourself and you say, what's not working? Am I healthy right now? Am I in a space of mental wellness right now? And then you start to use these various spiritual tools that have been taught to you as burdens, but really they are techniques to help you be in a good space. And hopefully if you can carve out that time, you will notice that throughout your day, that same peaceful, calm thinking comes back. And you can at any point take that moment. You know, some friends of mine, they had a really good technique that they recommended. They said at work, when we have all of our meetings and appointments and all these alerts start coming up that your next meeting is starting in 5 minutes, they said we actually put in a 1 minute meditation break. Every 60 minutes, a little 1 minute meditation was a reminder that they would put in their calendar. So they said, no matter what I'm doing, I'm just going to take a minute. Rather than going out for a cigarette break or something, which is essentially people trying to do the same thing. They're trying to get out of that stressful situation and just slow their breathing down. You can do that right now within your workplace. So start building the right habits into your working life rather than seeing meditation as something that you have to add on later on. Try and mix it in with your daily life. And I hope hopefully you'll start to see that that's becoming a wellness practice for you rather than a spiritual ritual that you have to complete.
ਅਥਰੂ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਅੱਖ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੋਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੋਰ ਦਿਓ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੋਰ ਦਿਓ
ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਸਰੀ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਦਿਨ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਰੀ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲੰਘਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਫੋਟੋਗ੍ਰਾਫੀ ਜਰਨੀ 'ਤੇ ਨਿਕਲੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਰਦਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਜੋੜਾ ਤੁਰਦਾ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਪਰ ਉਸ ਬਦਲੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਦਲ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ
ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾ ਇਹਦਾ ਸ਼ੌਕ ਆ ਫੋਟੋਗ੍ਰਾਫੀ ਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਖਿੱਚ ਸਕਦਾ ਇਕੱਠਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਬਸ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਬਸ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਚੁੰਨੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਬਸ ਠੀਕ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਬਹੁਤ
ਅਤੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫੋਟੋਜ਼ ਲੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁੰਨਾ ਅਚਾਨਕ ਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਫੋਟੋਜ਼ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ
Sorry? Just because it was like a lot of noise on the road. I was just passing by the road.
Oh, it's over here. It's nothing real, nothing. You take the picture.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਤਕਲੀਫ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬੀਜੀ ਬਾਪੂ ਜੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਬਾਕੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਫੋਟੋਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ।
ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ। ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ, ਸੋ ਆ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ, ਇੱਦਾਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ। ਵੈਰੀ ਗੁੱਡ। ਥੋੜਾ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ, ਥੋੜਾ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ, ਲਾਈਟ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ। ਅਖੀਰ ਵਾਰ ਕਦੋਂ ਖਿਚਾਈ ਸੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਇਕੱਠਿਆਂ ਨੇ?
ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਫਰਵਰੀ 'ਚ। ਉਦੋਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਤੇ ਕਰਾਈਆਂ ਸੀ।
ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ? ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ?
ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ 70 ਚ 30 ਉਹ ਤੇ 23 ਇਹ 55 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ।
ਆਪਸ ਚ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਰਮਜ਼ ਕੀ ਆ?
ਰਮਜ਼ ਤਾਂ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਮੋਟੀ ਝੱਲਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ। ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਗੱਲਾ ਹੋਵੇ 2 ਮਿੰਟ ਇੱਧਰ ਉੱਧਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਬਸ।
ਤੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਵਿਧੀ ਆ?
ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਰਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ। ਵੈਸੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਵਿਧੀ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ, ਸਭ ਆਪੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ, ਟਾਈਮ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਣਾ। ਕਿੰਨਾ ਲੰਘੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਗਰੀਬੀ ਆ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਣੀ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਅਮੀਰੀ ਆਵੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣੀ। ਇਹਦਾ ਹੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਬਸ।
ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ।
ਉਮਰ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਕੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਿਹਾ, ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਇੰਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 'ਚ ਸਮਰਪਣ ਆ, ਮਤਲਬ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 'ਚ ਉਹ ਰੂਹ ਪਾਈ ਆ ਸੋਹਣੀ।
ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ 'ਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਰਥ ਦਿਓ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ, ਸਭ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਸਦੇ ਆ।
ਕੁਦਰਤ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਸ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਆਪਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ, ਆਪਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਫਕੀਰੀ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਝੁਕਾ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਉਹ ਤਕਲੀਫ ਹੀ ਉਠਾਉਂਦਾ।
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅਥਰੂ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਅੱਖ 'ਚ। ਨਹੀਂ ਰੋਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਆਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਕਰੀਏ, ਹਾਸਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਆਪਾਂ।
ਪੁਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵਾਹਵਾ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦੇ, ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾ ਸੀਗੇ ਹਨਾ।
ਕੋਈ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ 'ਚ ਦੇਖੋ, ਇਹ ਕੁਦਰਤੀ ਰੱਬੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ, ਹੈ ਹੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਨੂਰ ਹਨਾ। ਲਿਆਓ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਖਿੱਚਾਂ ਫੋਟੋ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਹਾਸਦਿਆਂ ਦੀ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਬੀਜੀ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਏਦਾਂ ਬਸ। ਭਾਵੇਂ ਝੋਲਾ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਲਓ, ਇੱਥੇ ਲਿਆਓ ਹੋਰ ਹੱਸ ਕੇ ਕਰਾ ਲਓ। ਬਾਪੂ ਜੀ ਹੱਸ ਪਏ ਹੁਣ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੋਰ ਦਿਓ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ। 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੋਰ ਦਿਓ। ਆ ਲਓ ਜੀ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤੀ ਦੇਵੇ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ, ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਤੋਹਫਾ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਅਣਜਾਣ ਮੋੜ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਅਣਜਾਣ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਆ। ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੱਗਾ ਬੀਜੀ ਬਾਪੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਹੋਪ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਈ ਹੋਊਗੀ। ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਨਰ ਪੀਸ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ।
To most Americans, the Pilgrims of Plymouth, Massachusetts are the iconic inspiration for today's Thanksgiving feast. After the winter of 1620 killed almost half of their people, the colonists formed a relationship with the neighboring Wampanoag tribe, who taught them about fishing, planting, and hunting. By autumn of 1621, the colonists had collected enough food to feed the community through the coming winter. The Wampanoags joined the colonists for a 3-day feast in honor of their bounty. The feast probably did not include our modern Thanksgiving staple, turkey. More likely, the colonists and Wampanoags dined on roast goose, along with corn, codfish, and lobster. This 1621 harvest meal is now commonly thought of as the first Thanksgiving. Yet for later generations of colonists, New England days of Thanksgiving had little to do with the 1621 harvest festival. Theirs was a religious holiday, descended from Puritan days of fasting, prayer, and giving thanks to God. Every autumn, the governor of each colony would declare days of thanksgiving for bountiful harvests, victorious battles, or drought-ending rains. In 1777, the Continental Congress decreed that all 13 of America's colonies celebrate a national day of Thanksgiving that year in celebration of their victory over the British at Saratoga. By the mid-19th century, many states celebrated the holiday. However, the date could vary by weeks or even months. A determined magazine editor named Sarah Josepha Hale set about establishing a national Thanksgiving Day. She passionately believed that such a day would help unite a nation headed towards civil war. Hale began a one-woman letter-writing campaign, urging politicians to establish an annual day of Thanksgiving. Her efforts were finally rewarded by Abraham Lincoln, who saw the unifying potential of the holiday. In 1863, 4 months after the victory at Gettysburg, he declared the last Thursday of November to be Thanksgiving Day. By the 20th century, Thanksgiving was a welcome day of leisure from a 6-day work week. In the 1920s, the National Football League was formed. In an effort to boost attendance, the fledgling Detroit Lions devised the concept of a Thanksgiving Day game. Parades also became a Turkey Day tradition, and department stores quickly saw their value as a kickoff to the Christmas shopping season. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade began in 1924, and year after year, millions of New Yorkers braved the cold to watch the festivities. Most of all, Thanksgiving is about family. With modern life moving faster than ever, Thanksgiving gives us a day to take a collective breath, reconnect with loved ones, and remember just how much we have to be thankful for.
Here's the turkey.
A.D. Williams once said, "Imagine what 7 billion humans could accomplish if we loved and respected one another." Just imagine. Imagine if there was no greed. Imagine if there was no comparison. If everyone was running their own race, but cheering for all others at the same time. Maybe we'll never see that in our lifetime. But what we all can do is start with ourselves. Start with yourself. Choose to lift others up. Choose to set the example of kindness and integrity, the example of compassion and understanding. There's a quote that says, "No matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all." Integrity is everything. It really is. Who you are is far more important than what you have, and it will always be. Who you are is measured by how you make others feel. Be kind to each other. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Choose to be the change you wish to see in the world. Decide you will not wait for someone else. You will set the example. Be kind. Because you never know how much that person is suffering inside. You never know the difference your words can make, the difference your presence can make, the difference you can make to one human life. Be the reason someone believes in the goodness of humanity. Be the reason someone else decides to make a difference in others. Be the influence you want to see more of. Always do what is right, not what is easy in the moment. Kindness spreads like a virus. When you do good to another, that person does better to those they come in contact with. You really can make a big difference in the world today and every other day. Anne Frank said, "In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit." No one has ever made themselves great by showing how small another is. Be kind and always build others up to the best of your ability. Treat everyone with the same level of kindness that you would like for yourself. Not because everyone is nice, but because you are. Because karma makes no mistakes. because it is right, because you have integrity, because you want this world to be better when you leave than when you arrive.